Hello and welcome, I'm Elliot and this is part 2 of my series on how to make a visual novel using RenP. In today's video, we'll be making our first step and as you can see, I've already got my code editor, Visual Studio Code that I'll be using to run my code. You can use whatever suits you as long as it runs your code, it doesn't matter. Now as you can see, I've deleted what already existed in the sprit.rpy file and I'm currently writing a conversation between two characters, me and char1, and a line of narration. This is a very simple RenPy game, it doesn't show images or backgrounds, but it's a good start, try it out. This example shows some of the commonly used RenPy statements. The first line is the label statement. It is used to give a name to a place in the program. In this case, we create a label named Start. The Start label is special, as it's where RenPy scripts begin running when the user clicks Start Game on the main menu. The other lines are say statements. There are two forms of the say statement. The first is a string, beginning with a double quote, containing characters, and ending with a double quote, on a line by itself, which is used for narration, and the thoughts of the main character. The second form consists of two strings. It's used for dialogue, with the first string being a character name and the second being what that character is saying. Note that all the say statements are indented by 4 spaces. This is because they are a block underneath the label statement. In RenPy, blocks must be indented relative to the prior statement, and all of the statements in a block must be indented by the same amount. When strings contain double quote characters, those characters need to be preceded by a backslash. While this simple game isn't much to look at, it's an example of how easy it is to get something working in RenPy. We'll add the pictures in a little bit, but first, let's see how to define characters. One problem with the first example is that it requires you to repeatedly type the name of a character each time they speak. In a dialogue-heavy game, this might be a lot of typing. Also, both character names are displayed in the same way, in the accent color selected when starting the game. To fix this, RenPy lets you define characters in advance. This lets you associate a short name with a character, and to change the color of the character's name. The first and second lines define characters. The first line defines a character with the short name of S, the long name, char1, with a name that is shown in black. The colors are red green blue hex triples, as used in web pages. The second line creates a character with a short name, M, a long name, me, with the name shown in a grayish color. Other characters can be defined by copying one of the character lines, and changing the short name, long name, and color. We've also changed the say statements to use character objects instead of a character name string. This tells RenPy to use the characters we defined. Now, a visual novel isn't much of a visual novel without the visuals. In RenPy, each image has a name. The name consists of a tag, and optionally one or more attributes. Both the tag and attributes should begin with a letter, and contain letters, numbers, and underscores. RenPy searches for image files in the images directory, which can be found by selecting Images, in the Open Directory section of the launcher. RenPy expects character art to be a .png or .webp file, while background art should be a .jpg, .jpeg, .png, or .webp file. The name of a file is very important, the extension is removed, the file name is forced to lowercase, and that's used as the image name. RenPy also supports a hide statement, which hides the given image. It's actually pretty rare that you'll need to use hide. Show can be used and a character is changing emotions, while scene is used when everyone leaves. You only need to use hide when a character leaves and the scene stays the same. Sometimes you not want to let RenPy define images automatically. This is what the image statement is for. It should be at the top level of the file, unindented, and before label start, and can be used to map an image name to an image file. The image statement is run at init time, before label start and the rest of the game script that interacts with the player. The image statement can also be used for more complex tasks, but that's discussed elsewhere. I highly recommend trying out all the stuff you learnt today and do some research on your own, as RenPy is a whole new world full of fun and cool stuff. As for now, I am Elliot and I'll see you in the next videos.